Well, welcome back to the program here. This is Congressman Jeff Denham filling in for a vacationing Ray Appleton. With this whole first hour, we've been talking about gas prices. Congressman Jeff Landry has been on the show from Louisiana. He and I talk a great deal about the challenges that his state faces, as well as the challenges we have here in California, and a lot of similarities. We're both fighting a lot of battles where the environmentalists are taking control of our state's destinies. And, the last caller that we had, Tom, was asking about protecting the environment and how do we create a balance. I want to see a balance here. I'm a farmer. If we are not taking care of our ag land, if we're not taking care of our water, my kids drink out of the same water that comes right out of the ground under our water table. So I certainly want to create not only a balance, but I want to make sure that I ensure that my kids are drinking safe water and eating safe vegetables from our area. I do not want to see more production in other countries where we become reliant on our produce coming from Mexico or from other states when we have the opportunity to grow it and create jobs here. So we are looking at battling a number of these different environmental regulations. NEPA is a huge regulation across the entire nation, and yet we have CEQA, the Environmental Quality Act here in California, and it not only has duplication, but it's meant to just stall or completely shut down the process of creating jobs and creating new expansion here, whether it's agriculture or oil production. We saw that with Tranquilian Ridge, which is a slant drilling operation. Jeff Landry talked about the 39,000 permits that have new shallow water wells that have been started in Louisiana. Well, here's one where we have in California a huge oil reserve where the environmentalists actually bought off on this because there was going to be a trade here where we'd actually pull in the old oil rigs that are sitting off the coast, bring them in, take them out, clean them up, cap those areas off, and then do a new technology, slant drilling off the coast, which you wouldn't see anything on the coastline anymore, but yet we'd have more oil production here in California and, see a lower cost associated with it. Would help everybody here in California, but yet that project has been stalled at the State Lands Commission. It's always a 2-3 vote, and we need one more vote to actually get that done. It was passed by the legislature on a bipartisan vote and was one that, quite frankly, we need to move forward here in California. But we've got these opportunities throughout the nation. Certainly frustrating that the president talks about only having 2% of the world's production when we by far have more capacity than the rest of the world. 65% of the shale oil, which is more expensive, but when we've now gone, historic prices of $80, $90 a barrel, we're now at $105 to $110 a barrel and going up to $122. We will see $5 gas prices if we don't do something. Right now, we're suffering from $4 gas prices here locally. $5 is around the corner. With what's happening in the Middle East, greater conflicts now with Libya, our oil prices continue to fluctuate. Those barrel prices are going to go up, and this summer we could be facing much higher rates if we don't do something now. So my feeling is we've got to cut a lot of the regulation, get some of the drilling back in line in Louisiana, where Congressman Landry was just talking about. Look at ANWR in Alaska, look at California, but we have so many different oil reserves. We can do it safely, we can do it clean, but we need to start moving forward on a variety of different areas before we put ourselves out of business. We just cannot continue to be self-reliant on other countries when we've got the greatest reserves right here in the great U.S. of A. We are coming up against another deadline, but before we do, I want to just intro the next hour. One of the big job creators that's always talked about here locally is high-speed rail. Very controversial, obviously, from what's happened with the bond. A big money grab from all of the other states that have now said we don't want it. Florida being the most recent one, that the Florida governor has said we can't afford high-speed rail at this time. No thank you to the stimulus dollars. That money's sitting out there right now, and there are many Californians here that want to grab that money and get high-speed rail here at any cost. So joining us in the next hour, we've got Congressman Bill Schuster, who chairs the Rail Committee. He is from Pennsylvania. He has been a big proponent of high-speed rail in the Northeast Corridor. We've got an opportunity to talk about the challenges that we face here versus the planning that they've had there, why the two systems are different, whether we get high-speed rail here in the near future, and some of the things that we could do much better if we want to get it. So looking forward to having Congressman Bill Schuster on in the next hour. We're going to be taking calls, and then we're going to finish up the show talking about whatever it is you want to talk about, the continuous resolution, the budget, finishing up last year's budget, which is still in flux, the debt ceiling, which is right around the corner, and then the president, his new proposal for 2012. With that, again, want to remind you, this is Congressman Jeff Denham filling in for a vacationing Ray Appleton. The numbers to call us here, 490-5858, or toll-free, 800-776-5858. This is News Talk 580 KMJ. Thank you for listening.